I did my interview and I'm waiting on feedback, but I changed my address from one state to another. Will that affect the decision-making process? Yes. If you've moved, you have to let immigration know you moved. You do it on an AR-11. Then they're going to transfer the file to another state, and you are going to be delayed, unfortunately. It's always best to stay in the state where you're living until you get through. What's the process of a petition for parents when a U.S. citizen over 21 petitioned for their parents overseas? I already filed the petition. When do I have to file the affidavit of financial support? What other forms do I need? Well, you file the I-130, you wait for the I-130 to get approved. Once the I-130 is approved, they transfer the file to the National Visa Center. There, the National Visa Center is going to ask you for fee bills. Then they're going to ask you for biographic data information on your parents. You're going to have to provide an affidavit of support. You're going to have to get police records from every place where your parents have lived since the age of 16 to show they don't have criminal records. And then there's new immigration affidavit support forms that they have to fill out to show that they can support themselves in America themselves without getting on public benefits, meaning that if they're elderly, hopefully they have health insurance. If they have some skills or education or money in the bank, that hopefully they have that as well. But if they are going to just squeak by on your affidavit of support and they don't plan on working and they're not going to be able to support themselves, and it looks like they would end up on government assistance here in the United States, they are going to be denied under the new rules. Can a green card holder file for her husband in Jamaica? Absolutely, and she should. Marge Higgs, if your adjustment of status was previously denied and that marriage ended a year ago, can you remarry and file another adjustment of status? And the answer is absolutely. You are allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, and then fall back in love again. So absolutely, you should do it. The only thing you got to be concerned about is that if the government feels that your first marriage was not a bona fide marriage, then you're going to have to prove both marriage 1 and 2 was real and neither of them were business marriages. Would Americans be able to travel back and forth to a place like Ghana? I hope so, Renata. I don't know the answer, but we got to ask Ghana. I was really referring to European bans on Americans at this point in time. If a United States citizen spouse claims you on his taxes to get a refund, but you're separated due to domestic violence and filed your own taxes as a VAWA applicant, will there be an issue if you report the USCIS spouse for fraud to IRS? No, he shouldn't be. If you're filing your own taxes, IRS is going to figure out that he's claiming you for a tax refund, and at the same time you're filing your own taxes. They're going to write you a letter and you actually explain it out. You're doing nothing wrong, First Lady. J.N. Pereira. Hi, Brad. Thank you for doing the show. It's very entertaining. I appreciate it. I have a pending I-45 pending, filed originally with the I-130, but I asked the field office to hold on to my I-45 because I filed VAWA. So how would the Vermont Service Center know that I have a pending I-45? The field office let them know about it. Well, I have to let them know I need to renew my EAD soon under C9. Thank you. All right, so this is how it works. If it sounds like to me that your spouse filed an adjustment for you and then you showed up on the interview on your own and you asked the officer to keep the case open because you're filing a VAWA or already have filed a VAWA, and the officer will say to you, send me receipt of the VAWA within 30 days and I will keep your adjustment open. In the computer system, there is computers. Every immigration office is linked. They will see there's a pending adjustment application. You will then file an I-360. You already have filed an I-360 with Vermont Service Center. You have to wait for the I-360 to get approved. And once that I-360 is approved, you then have to notify your local office that it's been approved, and they will reschedule you for a new interview. In the meantime, file for renewal of your I-765 work permit. Kimberly McDowell, when is immigration going to open back to the public? They claim June 4th. Let's hope that's the case. Sharon Horton, is it true the administration says all citizenship is on hold till after the election? I never heard that. I don't believe that's true. Deep Ram with a question. Uncle Brad, I have a question. My lawyer filed the I-135, the I-45 married to U.S. citizen. My spouse didn't end up attending the interview, and so she filed the I-360, I-45, and I-765. I requested him to file the I-765 category so that I can continue my job, but he told me that's not acceptable, but to wait until my VAWA case to be approved and issue me the category 31. I had lost my job. I feel guilt that I trust his ignorance. Please correct me. Oh, it's my lawyer. My apologies. Let me just read this again so I understand. Okay. So the answer is, okay, if you filed a new adjustment application, you should not have lost your job. You should have filed an I-765 under the category 9, not under the category 31. So now that you have an adjustment pending and your lawyer screwed up, doesn't mean you have to continue to deal with him screwing up. File the I-765 under category C9 now. Get your job back. You should have been doing this all along. Let's see what else we have here. Yuli, I answered your question. Prandeep, I've answered your question. A lot of people are answering the question, asking the questions 10 times. That's why it takes me time to find the next one. Lysandra Livermore. Hi, Brad. My question is, if I did my interview in Jamaica and was approved and I have until August to leave the country, but my 2-year wedding anniversary will be in July, do you think I'll get the 10-year green card when I arrive in August? Yes, it's based on when you enter the United States, not when the immigrant visa was issued to you. Let's see what's going on YouTube. And 29 Super C saying, hey, Sam the Hedgehog. Unfortunately, 29 Super C, he is not a hedgehog. A hedgehog is a different animal. Sam is a groundhog. Harrogate Gabrisis. Say, squat up, boss man. All right, thank you. Victoria Brea says, hi, Brad, how are you? Is it okay to apply for unemployment? I'm furloughed. The answer is yes, you can. 29 Super C, let's give Uncle Brad some love by clicking the thumbs up underneath the video and making it blue. All right, 29 Super C, you make it up. You can call Sam Hedgehog now, even though he's a groundhog. You can call him Hedgehog because you're telling people to give the thumbs up. You can call him anything you want then. Super Ajukla. Super Ajkula, I guess, is the person. My I-360 was approved. I had an interview on March 2nd, 2020. When I got there, the officer called my name and told me they didn't have my file. They haven't sent me a new date yet. What would you suggest I do? Well, you got to wait, unfortunately, until the government reopens. Once they reopen, give them 60, 90 days to reschedule. If they still don't reschedule, then give me a call. Tori Davis, any idea when the consulate's going to reopen? No, not yet. We don't know. Miss AC, hello, Uncle Brad. Please, how long does it take to approve a VAWA I-45? Over 20 months these days. Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson, with a pre-comment of the day. Brad, your show is such a productive and positive show. I'm addicted watching your show. Thanks for your educational experience show, Brad Hun. Love it, and you are here to help. Thank you very much, Carol. Kenroy Arnold on the I-45. Have you ever worked in the United States without authorization? If you came on a visitor's visa and has work at times volunteer, what should you put? You worked without authorization, whether you got paid or not. Let's see what else we got here. Ricardo Mendoza. When are you considered an aggravated felon? When you plead guilty and are sentenced to a crime that is categorized as an aggravated felony. So there's no definition of an aggravated felony other than they give a category of 20 plus or 30 plus crimes that are just considered aggravated felonies. And then you really the problem becomes if you're found guilty in a state court and not a federal court, we then have to figure out what the state law says and see if it is analogous to what an aggravated felony categorized in the federal court is, which is why lawyers argue all the time whether you are or not an aggravated felon. Kenny B, hi, Uncle Brad. If this pandemic continues, do you think the government will have an amnesty for undocumented people? I do not believe this government under Donald Trump will ever have an amnesty for undocumented people. That will not happen. Perhaps if the Democrats get elected, maybe. But then again, if you told me 3 months ago that we would be quarantined, there would be a killer virus going around the world, and the United States, which we haven't discussed, which we will next week, will release FOIA results to show that aliens and UFOs have visited us and the Navy saw it. I would tell you I didn't believe that either. So anything could possibly happen now. BB with a question. Brad, why does USCIS keep cases pending unfairly for such a long time? My friend waited 4 years and they denied after he sued, citing a very vague reason. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? All sorts of reasons. Sometimes the officer just chooses not to like you. It's a very, most of the time, it's an unfair process. So to say it's a fair process, it's not. Why they did it to your particular friend, what happened to your particular friend, I don't know. But your friend should call me and we should find out and fix it. A lot of times there's underlying racism. A lot of times the officer just doesn't like you. Sometimes they just screw up. You know, officers get reprimanded if they give an approval for a green card or citizenship to somebody that didn't deserve it. But at the same time, they don't really get that same reprimand or if they give a denial. So if I'm an officer and I want to have good grades and good reviews with my supervisor, I don't want to screw up. If there's going to be a close call on a case, I'm going to deny it rather than approve it. Now, why cases take 3-4 years? Because those cases become so complicated sometimes that officers send it up the chain of command to litigation unit, to supervisors, say, I don't know what to do. And then it just sits there. It's called bureaucracy. Jess Lambow. Hi, Brad. How are you? Just want to ask, does President Trump extend his executive order? Not as of yet. AJ, is moving while I-751 is pending, but remaining in the same jurisdiction, the field office where the I-751 will be interviewed, delay the processing? No, but make sure that you give an AR-11 and change your address. Ahmad Marin. Hi, Brad. Is it necessary to amend tax returns for adjustment of status interview if I did not file together with spouse due to no social security number at the time? Yes, you should amend. Part of being in a bona fide marriage is having a shared financial relationship, which includes sharing the debts of the marriage, which includes your tax debt. Alicia Anin. Hi, Uncle Brad. I did my adjustment of status interview December 2019, and it went well past 120 days. What should I do for them? Wait to open it, or should I? What should I do? My EAD is expired. Renew your EAD. File it on the I-765. You should do that right now. There's not a lot you can do until immigration reopens. After they reopen, if you have not heard anything after 60 days, then give me a call. Romario Miller, can my spouse get off SNAP and petition for me? I'm in this state. She can get off and petition for you, but it's going to count against you for the next 3 years. Dominic Smith, hi, Brad. Can someone go on their spouse insurance or they have to have their own? No, go on your spouse's insurance. Absolutely. Lysandra Livermore, back on Facebook. Hi, Brad. My question is, if I did my interview in Jamaica and was approved and I have until August to leave, we answered that. I said you would be a permanent green card holder. Let's see what else we have. Ahmed Moran Jut. Hi, Brad. Is it necessary to amend tax returns if I did not file together with my spouse? I answered that yes. Damian Farkason, I answered your question. Stephanie Radway. Hi, Brad. My U.S. citizen mom petitioned for me from Jamaica. The National Visa Center sent us the welcome letter. However, I'm in America since December. How do I go about changing my status? She's in the process of submitting the affidavit of support. If you are in status here in America and the priority date is current, you would want to file an adjustment. If you're out of status, then you're going to need to reach me. You're going to need to reach me either way and do a provisional waiver. Sharon Horton. Friend of mine case has been under review for 2 years, 1 year since transfer to local USCIS office. What does that mean? It means they're violating her rights. She should come in and talk about a mandamus. Garfield Smith. Hi, Brad. Can a child age out if her uncle filed for her father and she was on that filing? Yes. Age out has to deal with how long an I-130 took to get approved and when the priority dates became current. Unique Willis. What's going on with the work permit? I don't know what's going on with it. I don't understand your question. Marge Higgs said she asked a question early and still didn't hear. I didn't see the question. Rog J. Roberts, congratulations, Rog J. His first positive comment on Bradshaw Live in over a year. Today's weather is lovely. Philmon Jerome, for those who came to USA for restatement, After how many years they will receive a green card? Those who came to USA for restatement. I don't know what restatement means. Explain to me. I think you're using the wrong word. Unique Willis, I have a question. What's going on with work permit once you did your 4 years? Are they going to keep renewing your work permit? Once you did your 4 years, for what? I'm not sure. Again, explain better. Even I can't understand that. Deji Abri, can someone on OPT who lost his job file for unemployment? You can try. You can absolutely try and see what happens. Elizabeth Francis, Uncle Brad, does immigration officer just ask one party question, then your husband comes out and told you the immigration officer says he won't approve your case with interview the other person? If they separated you and your husband came out and said they're not going to approve the case, that means they threatened your husband with all sorts of things and probably told them they believe it's a fraud marriage. So you need to come see me. Chinny Bop Pops Love. My wife filed for paperwork 2017. We went to the interview February 2018. We didn't get a decision. When they call, they say it's under review, and they call again. They say doing security checks, still no decision. You need to come see me. It's 2 years. That's a violation of your rights. Prandeep Rap, I told you, file the I-765 under Category 9. Your lawyer screwed up. Give me a call. If your lawyer doesn't know that, your lawyer's not doing a good job. So if your lawyer is filing an adjustment for you under VAWA and puts down C-31 on an I-765, you got the wrong lawyer. All right. So either call me or call somebody. My telephone number is 1-800-529-5465 or 212-227-3636. And let's go quickly back to immigration. Liz Rudan Herma, hi, Uncle Brad. Once married, can my husband put me on his insurance even though I'm not filed for yet? Yes. Maritu Decore, as a U.S. citizen, can I apply for my stepdaughter to come live with us? As long as the marriage happened before she was 18, yes. And under with the last question of the day. Hi, Brad. My I-751 and N-400 approved since ending February. Now it's 120 days. I didn't get a letter for a ceremony. It's because they're closed. There is no ceremonies right now, but hopefully there will be shortly. So just wait until immigration reopens, give it 60 days, and then let's see what happens. And then when there will be a ceremony, it's going to be spread out more. They're only going to invite 50% of the people who can fit in the room, et cetera, et cetera. Whew. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.